We often receive the question, why do we need a target ROAS for our campaign? The campaign is already doing well on maximize conversions or conversion value, so why risk it by changing the bid strategy to target ROAS? If you reach a higher spend and you still do not have a target ROAS on your campaign, then there's a high chance that there will be heavy fluctuations once you're scaling. So you can see in the graph, for example, that some days will be with very high spend and maybe even zero sales. Next day will be extremely high ROAS and less spend because it's just always trying to get the most value. For example, with the bid strategy conversion value. If you're still using maximize conversion as your bid strategy, it's only trying to get as many sales as possible. And by doing so, it's not always trying to reach a certain return on ad spend that you need. That's why you should carefully look at the data and set an accurate target ROAS based on the actual ROAS, what your campaign is already doing. Within this example, you can see that the last 7 days, approximately, the actual ROAS was 300% plus. Obviously, you want to have a ROAS of as high as possible, but there's no point in now setting a target ROAS, for example, at 1,000%. It will not work. The target ROAS collapse. This kind of stuff will also cause the horror stories that you might hear when putting a target ROAS, that your spend collapses or performance collapses. It needs to be accurate and it needs to be placed based on the data that you can see. Around the 3rd of March, I placed a target ROAS. The budget was around 500 euros. As you can see, the day after, that it kind of limited the spend of the campaign. So this is not immediately a bad thing because your target ROAS is not just a single thing that you put on your campaign. You should see it as your steering wheel, how you can really guide your spend and your performance in the right direction. And as you can see, by just simply reducing the target ROAS a little bit, it started to spend the full budget. And by doing so, and by spending the full budget, you can keep scaling, obviously, when the performance is still okay. And as you see, we scaled quickly towards a budget above 1k euro.